I want to show you today what I think is the best way in 2026 to build a WordPress website with AI. And just as a full disclosure, this is not a video for beginners. This is for people who understand WordPress and how it works and how it's put together. The whole process came together a little by accident. I've been spending a lot of time exploring Etch Builder, which is a block space builder. If you've been using other page builder like Elementor, Bricks, or Divi or whatever the flavor, and then it's a different process as using WordPress core blocks, which you never use when you're using a builder. When you're using a builder, you're always using the widgets the builder gives you instead of core WordPress stuff. So the builder layer adds a lot of bloat, and I would say it builds a slower site typically than with just core blocks, and it adds a level of simplicity, and it adds a level of complexity at the same time. And what I've been learning is that when I'm putting sites together with blocks, I feel like they take a little bit longer to put together, but the end result is infinitely simpler. And so what happened was I was working on another project where I was repositioning it in the market. I wanted to expand it. It's a software as a service product, and as part of that offering, I wanted to include a website template that integrates the software as a service with a template offering as well. Offer it as a complete solution. And so I was doing some positioning in the marketplace, comparing prices against other vendors, figuring out what my value proposition is, and rewriting some copy, and just like brainstorming in Codex. And right about the time where I had finished that, Etch came out with their AI integration. And I was like, well, we're in a free-for-all right now. We're gonna just keep going. And I connected that Codex chat into this project, and what you see here is a result of Etch connected to that Codex chat, and it's by and large built all of what you see here on its own. And this is working WordPress properly built, using automatic CSS classes and using templates. It's using archives on custom post types. It's using single post templates. It is using the WooCommerce shop archive, the WooCommerce product single, the cart to checkout, and all of it is dynamic and properly put together the way I would wireframe a site before I passed it along to one of my designers. And it blew my mind a little. As I went through the process, it wired everything together. It made CSS that was a little more messy initially than I liked, when I was told that, I had to train the chat to use ACSS variables when writing the CSS and things like that. So the end result here is completely built in Etch, and here I have a archive page for a post type, and it built all of what you see here, put it together, and then I went through and cleaned things up. But the key thing here was that what AI generated, it put into a stack of my choice in a way that I can easily edit, easily refactor, and it's not a liability. It didn't make a hot mess here where I have to have the AI fix what it built because it's so complicated. It actually built it into the way I want to have it when I'm done. And so an example of that is it built the archive for this listing here, and it's a custom post type with a lot of custom fields on it. It found them, it created the loop, it made the card, it wired the custom fields into it, it styled what you see, and made the card a component with props. It's like unbelievable. And so having this in Etch, I mean, all of what you see here, it built the WS form. Now I was building this site locally, so the Etch integration would stay inside Etch, but I was building the site in the key here was that I wasn't only using the Etch builder integration, which would like the way it works is like you open the template you want and connect to the agent, and your Codex or Cloud will find the open page and then go from there. And what I did by accident was to I had the site in local on my local host, and it also found it there, so it took advantage of WP CLI, and it made, and I told it what my stack is. I said I'm using Etch, automatic CSS, WS Forms, ACF, and told it to go. And so it even made the WS form properly. It's a WS form in the back end. So that's just like a short intro into where things are at. I had made some YouTube videos like about a year ago where I was putting together brick sites and demoing how they work, and I burnt out. I quit making videos for a while, and I just kind of took a break from it, and then I got into like just tinkering with some fun stuff in the meantime. And in that time, we have gone from, here's how to properly build a bricks template and make it maintainable, to I have an AI chat and it can build the sections I need. The thing about Etch is that you could tell it to go to town and build the whole thing for you, which can take hours of processing. But you can also, the best thing about it, I think, is that you can go into a template and say, I want a section with, you can describe the section or give it an image of a section you'd like to replicate. It can wire the whole thing together for you properly, and then you can go ahead and do your styling. It's a massive time saver just in that. And so I don't see this as much of a tool to get the end result you're after, like to actually replace the final product, because I don't think it's there. But it would have taken me days to wireframe this whole site together for my design team so that they could start with this design. And they're not done yet here. They're about like, this is kind of the result we got with AI, and now we're ready to actually finish it. Like, you can tell it's AI. There's only text, there's no icons, there's no images, and so those are all kind of things that we need to do yet. So it's gotten us to the point where it's replaced a lot of what I have had to do, where I'm doing the overall design of the site, the overall architecture, the thought. I've done that work, but then I've handed it off to my AI to actually create the wireframe. And so I think a better handoff process here would be to have a chat where these idea brainstorming happens, and then we hand that off to the Etch integration, and it would build like a black and white wireframe, no design. It would just wire things together, make things click, make your navigation, make all your pages, and just put all of that together, which is a ton of work. It's key to have that structure correct. And once that's all put together, it's a piece of cake for a designer to really style it and bring it to light. So where this goes next is that I'm gonna try. I'm gonna be automating the basically like the customer meetings, the recordings of customer meetings, phone calls, Teams, notes I make as we go, and building, seeding a chat with those notes, along with, you know, existing branding, existing website, other websites that the client gave you for reference, and having it build totally from scratch all the way through that process up until I'm ready to hand this process off to designers. So we don't know where this is going. We're in the early days of AI, and this is already way beyond where I thought like AI would go. I'm cynical, as I'm a cynical person, and I don't like go for fads, and it's just like always like there's always a gotcha somewhere. And so I say this with reservation, like we may get to the point where the AI can really put thoughtful icons and imagery together, or you provide it. I don't know where this is going yet. But that is the state of WordPress in 2026, and we've come an insane way from a year ago. If you're interested in Etch Builder, my affiliate link is in the description, and if you're interested in Etch, you should give it a shot. I make a commission when you buy through my link, and I would appreciate that. We'll see you in the next one.